Hello and welcome to this episode of R for Data Analysis with the Owori Analytics. We are continuing with learning our basics of R programming at step 3, and so far we have covered several of the basics. Today we are going to look at more functions of R. We are going to look at the data structure specific functions like the math functions, those for strings, data frames, arrays, and matrix functions. As usual, we are going to use one of the files from the folder containing our course materials. If you've not yet downloaded it, there is a link in the description of this video. Inside this folder, we are going to open the R tutorial files, and we are using file number 10, common functions in R. If you can't download it right now, don't worry, because you can still follow what we are doing by trying it on your computer. So I'm going to open that file, go to File, Open File, and then I locate where it is in other tutorials and other tutorial files. It is Common Functions in R, -10, then open it. This is more of building up on our previous episode where we looked at inbuilt versus user-defined functions and input versus output functions in R. These are all base functions or functions that come installed with R. But here we are going a little bit deeper to see data structure specific functions in R. For example, we have math functions in R which help you to perform mathematical calculations on numbers or numeric vectors. For example, if we have a variable x that has the following values, I like using examples like age, which someone can easily relate with. So if we are creating here a variable age of participants, and we have 3 participants, one is 10, 20, and 30 years, okay? So we can get the sum of age, okay? If I enter this, oh sorry, I have not yet created this, Control Enter, so that it is here in the environment, then you can be able to use that object. At least this is better than when you have to get some by manually adding 10 plus 20 plus 30, Control Enter, and you get 60. So there is a function already for you to add all numbers. Same thing if you want to get mean. So this is mean of our age, Control Enter, you will get 20 instead of you going all the way of this one, 10 plus 20 plus 30, over 3. Control Enter. So instead of going through this painful process, there are already functions. The common math functions are already defined in R. If you want to get the minimum value for age, okay, you'll get it. It will check through and return 10 is the minimum. This also works when you have your data sets and you just want to see which one is the minimum value, and same thing works for the maximum value for age. Here you'll see that it is 30. Okay, you want to get the square root of a number, just use this function sqrt for square root of 16. Control Enter, you'll get a 4. Maybe you want the square root of 37. You'll get the answer is there for you. You want to get the natural log of a value, maybe 100, you'll get it. Okay, maybe you want to get absolute values. You don't want to have a negative or a positive. All you need is the magnitude of the value. Maybe you're performing some computation, but you want to get the absolute values, not negative or positive. So you have ABS for absolute. Control enter to it will just return 25 instead of negative 25. You can also round off values. You have maybe 3.678 and you want to round it to 2 decimal points. Control enter and the whole variable will be rounded off to those number of decimal points. Maybe you want to only 1 decimal point, you can still change and then control enter. It will it has already rounded off the 6 to 7, then to give you 3.7. So the most common functions are already in R. You just now need to know. All you just need to know is how do I write if I need a minimum or a maximum. That's what we are calling learning the R programming language. You just learn the language and command it, it will give you what you want. We also have specific functions for a string variable. For example, I have a variable of name and it only has one participant where we have Owori Analytics, and I just need to know how many characters are within that variable. So I'll just use this function to get the number of characters within this variable called name. If I first have to create this object name, control enter, it is here so that I can now use it subsequently. So number of characters, control enter, there are 15. This is very important, especially when you have maybe you're capturing patient IDs manually and you want to know whether there has been consistency. Before you know it, some patient IDs, majority are 5 characters, but there is this one with 6, 4. It helps you to easily identify those entries that have errors. Sometimes you just want to standardize and make everything capital letter. So this is to upper. You put in the variable name and it will convert everything to uppercase. Initially it is Owori Analytics, but now, yes, everything is uppercase. If you want to change everything to lowercase, it can still do that for you, so that you standardize your string characters. Maybe you want to extract a substring. You just want to extract part of your string or your names. So you can use this substring function. And in the arguments, you give it the variable name that you want to extract from. Then you specify from which position to which one. I want from position 1 to 5. And if I run this, control enter, it will extract Owori. And you see that Owori, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has extracted the first 5. There is also a paste function that puts 2 words together. For example, I have got hello and world. I want R to return them together as one single word. So I have paste the 2 strings. Remember they are in quotes. Okay, I control enter and then I'll have hello world. Or maybe I want to paste a word, a string, together with a number. I can do the same thing, but then I can put what separates these. For example, if I run control enter, so score has been combined with the value 90, but they are separated by a space. If I just, instead of space, put a dash, control enter, then you will see that score a dash 90. So select your separators in a way that they won't change the meaning of the final outcome. So I can just leave the space there, control enter, and I have that. Then I can also split a string. Yes, you can see a name has got 2, I have 2 names separated by a space. So I can split this string into 2. So using this str split function, where I specify the variable, and then at what point should R split that string where we have a space. Okay, so I'll just enter this, Control Enter, and you'll see that I'll get 2 words. If I had an underscore here, then I would specify that you separate that where you have an underscore. And so let me first change this name, Control Enter, so that it is changed here. Then I can split, Control Enter, and still it has been split, but this time round using an underscore. Okay, so let me return this, Control Enter, yes. So that is about strings. Just the simple I can give you about strings. We won't go into the details of this base R or the inbuilt functions of R, because we are going to look at packages that make things even more simpler to work with. But understanding these functions enable you to appreciate what R can do. And sometimes where a package runs short, you can always use the base R. Sometimes you can use combination, as we shall see. We also have specific functions for data frames in R. And for a data analyst, a data frame is the most important structure for you, because most of the times you're having data sets imported from Excel, from SPS, from Stata, from CSV. You are always going to work mostly with the data frames. So here we are just creating a simple data frame called DF, maybe just for data frame. You can call it whatever you want, but this data frame has names of 3 participants, and it has age of those 3 participants. Think of it as another column. So you have got 2 columns of data, one having names, another one having age. We have the head function. If you have very many participants, maybe you have 100 participants in your data set, using the head function just enables you to look at the very first few rows, okay, and the columns. So if I use head and specify the data frame, Control Enter. Oh, I need to first create this data frame, Control Enter, so that it is created here. Then I should be able to use it. Control Enter here. You can see that. You see that I will have a view of the very first few rows of my data set. Since I only have 3, they have all been displayed. But if I have like 20, you would maybe first see the first 10, 6 to 10 there. Tail will just show you the last few ones, the last few from your data set, the first few rows of your data set. Then if you want to know the structure of a data frame, we've already looked at this, but you use the str function, Control Enter, and it will tell you this is, you are dealing with the data frame. Previously we looked at vectors, we looked at lists, arrays, and matrices. So this is a data frame with 2 variables, and the first one is a character, another one is numeric. These are their values. You can get some summary statistics about your data set. So if I just say summary for that data frame or data set, Control Enter, and it will give me, remember, if I try to just observe my data, names and age. So these are characters, these are values. So when you come to summary, and expand this a bit. So when you run summary for character variable age, the best you can get is the length. It is telling you you have got 3 names, okay? There is no, the class is here, the mode, they are all characters. Just trying, that's the best it can give you, the best summary statistics it can give you. But when it comes to a numeric variable like age, you can have the minimum value, you can have the first quartile, The median is here, the mean, the third quartile. Okay, it can give you the maximum value for all the variables that are in your data set. May expand back. And if only you had wanted to get the summary of one variable, so I would just come and say summary. The function is already there. I want df, okay, and then $sign. I specify, you will see that all the variables that are in that data frame. So I want to get the summary of age, control enter, and they will only give me the summary for that variable that I've requested. You can even count the number of rows. How many do you have? N row for the data frame or the data set. You have 3 participants. Number of columns, you have 2 variables, name and age. If you want to list all the column names that you do have there, okay, you can just use column names function. So they will list for you. You have their name, you have age, and if you only want to see a certain column, for example, so you are telling R that within this data frame, I only want to see the names. So if I enter this, you will see you have Anna, Tom, and Ben. Like I said, we have other data structures like matrices and then arrays, which have specific functions. So if you are interested, you can read more about these. There are very many functions in R. We cannot exhaust all of them. I try to point out the common ones that you need as a data analyst, but this helps you to understand the whole concept of functions. So the main task to you is to know, if I want a task X completed, what terms does R understand? That's the language you're learning. If you found this video helpful, consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, so that you don't miss out any of our subsequent episodes. So far, we've covered several basics of R programming. We've looked at the reserved words, variable names, data types, up to functions. So next we shall be looking at packages in R, with main focus on the tidyverse, which is a group of related packages that really are very helpful in your journey as a data analyst. See you in the next video.